All right. So, this is how to fight Eno, and I have sped up how quickly I'm doing these because I just got tired of spending a lot of time recording these. So this one's also probably going to be not as good, but it should still be useful for some people. So, Eno is a character people kind of struggle with. Not that she's she's good, right? Like she's got some pretty basic options that are pretty good. The main stuff to know about in neutral is stroke the big tree. You can hit this as it comes in, but at low profile stuff. So if I have her pressing something like this, my stroke the big tree will get under it, which I promise it will. I just suck. It's hard to, but you know what? We're gonna re-record that. We're gonna wait a second and then we're gonna do it. That way, I've got a little bit of time. Yay! He did it. It is. It will go under a lot of things, and the H one, this like long sliding one versus the short one, the long sliding one is plus on block, and it is a low. And so she gets kind of, she gets that kind of stuff if it hits, and if it doesn't hit, she still gets this. It's still plus. And what I mean by plus is that she gets to act first. So her button will generally be faster than yours, which means it will generally win. Now, if she does this, you can obviously 6P it, but she's not too model to do this, which is a perfectly reasonable option after that, too, which will beat 6P. So, it's a guessing game, but in general, it's a plus state for her, and it's very good. It's kind of a degenerate move, to be honest, in this game. But it does get hit. So if I have her doing this move, you technically can hit it as it comes in. It is a low. You can hit it pretty easily, actually. And at far ranges, it's pretty easy reaction. At this range, don't try to react to it. I only can do this because I know it's coming, sort of like Maze Dolphin. But you can just kind of press these options, and they will beat it a lot of the time. This kind of stuff will hit it, but don't do big fat buttons in neutral if they're going to whiff. Just don't do it. This game, whiff punching is super easy in this game. Now, the other stuff is a lot of Enos do this kind of this sort of strings they'll do dash overhead, dash overhead. This has an enormous gap. This is so late that Eno can't even realistically frame trap to beat the delay button because you can press it so late. So even on hit, there's a huge gap. Unless there is a multi-hitting note off a very particular setup, she does not get redash. This is a super slow option, and it basically is just there to punish people who are committed to blocking. And so knowing that you can jab out and challenge out against lots of Enos goes a long way. Now, Eno can also do, that's not going to be it. She can also do, goodness. She also can do, that sort of thing, and that will beat me for trying to press a button. So if I block this, she's got a frame trap there. And she can also do that for delay buttons, but I also can press this button pretty late and not get counter hit, which I'm not demonstrating right now because I'm bad. But that timing of that button will still beat the redash. And then if she starts beating that option, the super late button, then you can start just jabbing out and beating her early. So, make her do the full mix. Now, she does have... No. There we go. She does have, pretty good throw options. She can do throw on this. She can do all that stuff. This is a full plus state option right here. She can reset pressure. And she can just kind of hit you. She can do all sorts of stuff. So, if you ever block this, it's not, good for you. But knowing where the character is limited goes a long ways. If this is hit up high... let me record that, actually. If it hits up high, she's actually minus. And it is something that, like, unless she's right here, this move right here is not minus. So she kind of has to go for options like that instead, or that sort of stuff, where she does her kind of fakey, tricky stuff. And if you kind of know the ranges in which she does and does not have options based on how high her dash gets her, it goes a long ways. Now, obviously she can do this, and that's perfectly fine, because it's still plus even out there, but she just doesn't get anything on it. But if she does this higher one and it hits like upper body, she's minus pretty early on, and you can kind of challenge this. Like if Ino is actually just kind of running at you, she does not get that. She really doesn't. She is a character that you can very much challenge. Now she can follow in Note, right? She can do that. And Note is very good because if you're like, hey, I'm just going to react to Note and move up. Oh, it can block your air dash. Oh no! Note is very good. It's a very strong neutral option, but it has kind of a lot of recovery. Like and it is a projectile. She's in counter hit state the whole time. So if she's ever in like this kind of range, you can hit her pretty reliably. You can kind of bully this move a little bit, but the main thing is that Ino is only scary when she's here or when she's reacting with this kind of thing. At like this range right here, she doesn't get anything on this. She doesn't have burst options. She is not Chip. She is not Milia. She's a setup character, and she's a rushdown character. And so like when she gets to this position, she is one of the hardest characters to deal with. Like, this is super fast. That's a really high overhead over there. There's, she's plus. She can throw. She gets a lot of stuff. On her throw, she is there. Like, she can also fall. So, like, on throw, she gets the full thing. She can fall and do it, which I haven't practiced this timing. But, like, you can see that there would be something there. And she can be plus on these farther ranges if she kind of drops down before pressing a button, which I'm not an Ino player, so I can't do it. I just play against an Ino player. But that's the main thing. In neutral, this character's neutral is not particularly strong. It actually is one of the weakest neutrals in the game because she's not really that mobile. Like, these options are pretty slow for movement. Like, they are very slow. She doesn't have burst movement options, and her one gimmick here is really the only thing that she can do to like threaten this space, which a lot of characters can threaten. Because like this is not a very far slash. It's disjointed as heck, so it's like don't contest it, and it's pretty hard to whiff punish just because it's disjointed. But it is it's not very far. So her neutral, and she's not very mobile like Milia and Chip, so and Geo, they don't really get around the fact she has short buttons. So her neutral is kind of like forcing this sort of stuff. It's forcing this sort of stuff. It's like forcing these heavy-handed high guess options that are there. Now this move is good. Like, this is fast. It hits really far. It doesn't hit crouchers. And you can also run under it a lot of the time. Now, Ino can't because Ino's dash is special, but a lot of characters can run under it, and a lot of characters can crouch under it. And if they crouch on, and she's doing it at this range and they crouch under it, let's say you're playing like Nago, and you crouch under this, you bop him with the big fat 2S, and she takes big damage, and she has got low health. And so she's got all this sort of stuff. Now, the core of her mid-range guessing game is that versus this. Now, she has counter pokes. Like, her neutral's not like trash. Like, don't be dissuaded. Like, this is a great counter poke. This is a great counter poke. This is a great counter poke. She is not bad in neutral. Like, this is not Street Fighter Alpha's Dan or something. This is not a bad character. I don't even remember if Dan's in that game, actually. But like, this isn't a joke character. Just her neutral is one of the weaker. I tentatively want to say it's the weakest neutral in the game, but not like by a she can't play neutral kind of thing. Like her neutral is still, she's got a 6P, she's got counter pokes, you know, she's got options. And that's it. So like this frame traps. So if I have them blocking this and doing a jab, this, well, actually I have to cancel later. Ah, good to know. That just give my Milia friend, or not Milia, my Eno friend a bit of props for making that delayed. But that does frame trap. Now the low jab will beat this option. It'll beat the slower one, and there is a fuzzy-ish timing to beat both of them. But that is by no means easy, and that's kind of like later. That's kind of later development defensive tech. Then what are some other stuff? That's the most of it. On throw, her note block is real-ish. It's not completely real. Like if I have them on counterattack, if I have them backdash, they technically do get away in some sense. Oh, that's not the right button. Like they can backdash it, but like the note's still coming, and if the note blocks late, Eno gets even more advantage. So it's not like Angie's situation where you kind of just get out of the option. It is something that you can do though, because it is a slow moving projectile. So like meaty note, and also on 2D. So on 2D, oh, I have to turn off the counterattack. Hang on, sorry, amateur video maker. On 2D, she's often too close to do note. Like there, I got 3 hits, but like it's often going to be 2, and if there is 2, it's not tight. Like it's not something she can go low. It's only high. That's all she can do. So it's not. Like she can't empty and then low on that very easily. Now again, Eno players might be able to be like, "Hey, I can back this up," and then I can just be wrong. That's entirely possible that I'm just wrong about that setup. Setups take a long time to learn the nuance of, and I have not thoroughly labbed the character. I've just played against her a decent bit, and that's the bulk of it. Now, obviously, Eno, like Kai, wants to just kind of drop a note on top of their wake up and get options. Obviously, that's what Eno wants to do, and because it's the most plus thing in the world. But at close range, this move is bad. Like that's punishable. That's super punishable. That's big damage punishable. That's bulk of it. At far range, she's got some stuff at far range. Like this contests a lot of stuff. This right here, that doing the full 5 hits, she can follow that in. So like at truly full screen, note becomes a pretty serious option. But a lot of ranges, like right here, Eno's pretty weak, and this is where you can really bully Eno. Like her buttons are not even close to hitting, and she has to whip punch. But a lot of your buttons, if you just like dash far slash or something with Kai or Soul or something, you're gonna stuff her stuff. Like she's got problems here at this range. Not that she can't, obviously. She's got don't be predictable ever in neutral. But it is all of that sort of stuff. Now, she does get some gross options, like she does. But the main thing is knowing that when she's high up, she's minus. Even on hit, this is minus. And the redash is super jabbable. Like, it's super jabbable. She doesn't really get that option. So Enos will kind of have to do those sort of things, and you need to know to sort of challenge. And that's the core of the character, I think. Now, I probably will re-upload this with more experience. She is not a simple character by any means, and so I will probably have more to say, or more accurately, or more refined way of saying a lot of what I'm saying now. So I hope it helps some people. That's about it. Bye for now.